If you want to make this crispy beer battered fish, like the one you eat at the fish and chips place, there are a few details you need to know. First, which fish is the best candidate for this recipe? While cod, haddock and pollock are the top choices, sole is a good candidate too. This is what I'm using here because it requires only minimal cutting. The fillets are thin and I only split them in two. I like the mild flavor and delicate texture of this fish that perfectly complements the crispy batter. To achieve a flavored and crispy fish, there are a few steps you have to take. First, you need the fish to be dry. I don't know why people dry food using paper towels. They are made with very toxic chemicals. You wouldn't filter your coffee through a piece of paper towel. And you shouldn't rub your food with it either, because chemicals can leach in your food. I rather sprinkle each fillet on both sides with salt and pepper to flavor them. Then I coat each fillet on both sides again with rice flour, as I show here. This will take care of the excessive moisture. Then I laid down the fillets on a piece of parchment paper to dry out even more while I prepare the batter. Of course, the batter is another critical element for a crispy fish. The batter must grow when you fry the fish and stay crispy even when reheated. It is made of wheat flour that gives the golden color, combined with rice flour for crispiness. Then you need some baking powder to make it grow and seasoning salt. Having said all this, the most critical component of this batter is the beer. The best one is a carbonated one, also called lager. The beer will also help the batter grow and become airy, crispy, and flavorful. The beer must be very cold, not to activate the baking powder before frying. Once you achieve a thick batter, like this, you start dipping the fillets in it, let the excess drip, and can start the fun part, which is the frying. You have to consider which oil is the best for this. In my opinion, the best oil is the healthiest one, so I'm using extra virgin olive oil. Other options are sunflower or canola oil. You need a few cups of oil depending on the size of the pan or fryer. I'm using medium temperature when frying the fish, so I'm also not burning both the oil and the fish. Once I achieve the golden color on both sides, I transfer the fish onto the serving plate. You can't have fish like this from takeout. You wouldn't fry in the same oil for a week or more, would you? So here it is, enjoy.